Principle number 7. Miracles are everyone's right, but purification is necessary first. So that brings up a really good point. Actually, a few good points. With purification being necessary first, and when we're on our spiritual path, there are some spiritual laws that fall into place, and purification is one of those laws. Okay? So for me, what purification has meant, there were points in my life where I thought that purification meant I could never have another naughty thought, or I could never, do certain things because certain things were sins, and if I did certain sins that God wouldn't forgive me, and yada, 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 yada. It was a lot of very fear-based beliefs that had nothing to do with God. Okay? So when it comes to the purification that we talk about in the Course in Miracles, it has to do with releasing ourselves from everything which is not the truth. Okay? So I've said it before, I'll say it again, I'll probably say it a gazillion times before I cross back over to heaven. But we are spiritual beings. We are having this physical experience. And in this experience, we have bodies, we have emotions, and we have thoughts that we can use to create for ourselves the experience of knowing ourselves as the creator of heaven here on earth. Okay? Now, if we're using our bodies, our emotions, and our thoughts in such a way that are in alignment with our spirit, then you probably find yourself peacefully, joyfully, lovingly enlightened and just creating heaven all around yourself. However, if somewhere along the line you have either gotten sucked into a feared thought illusion, or you've gotten sucked into a lower vibrational emotional pattern illusion, or you've gotten into a physical illusion, they're nothing but illusions. So what we're purifying is we're actually finding our way to the truth. Okay? And the truth is, we're spiritual beings. We are the children of God. We are the holiness on this planet. We, as one, are the Christ, right? But it's when we forget our holiness and we get into this fear and we start thinking that we're separate and we're competing and you're better than me or I'm better than you or blah, 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 then we're caught up in illusion, which is very much like hell, in my opinion. So purification, back to purification, purification is letting go of everything which is not the truth. Okay? Teach love, for love is what you are. Okay? God is love. That's really all that we need to remember. God is love. So when we're heart-centered, we're in that place of peace and connected to our joy, and we're sharing our love authentically and truthfully. Really, what more is there that we could ask for? However, here in this human condition, we've made up a lot of rules. Some people think this isn't right or that isn't right. What's very disturbing is many of the religions say, no, your way of finding God isn't right. No, your way of finding God isn't right. No. And they go to war over God, and God is love. It doesn't even make any kind of sense to me. So in one of my meditations recently, I had a conversation with God in which I said, so exactly how many paths to you are there? And I heard very clearly, well, how many of you are there on the planet now? And I was like, I don't know, over 7 billion, I guess. So I guess there's over 7 billion paths. Because we each are on our own perfect path to God. Yours might look like walking in nature. Yours might look like meditating in your bathtub with candles lit and a favorite piece of music playing. Yours might look like going to your church on Sunday. Yours might look like meditating on your yoga mat. It might look like whatever it looks like. It might look like praying on your knees next to your bed before you go to sleep at night. It could look like whatever it looks like, and whatever it looks like is perfect. What we need to purify is the belief that there is anything other than perfect. So our belief that something could be wrong or something could be not enough or not right, that is a sign that we're caught up in the ego. Because when we're caught up in spirit, when we are inspired, when we're in our hearts, when we're connected to love and joy and peace and enlightenment, then all we see is the holiness and the being in front of us. We see their goodness. We believe in them. Even if their behaviors are things that are less than charming, we know that they're not that behavior. That behavior is them caught up in illusion. They've forgotten who they are. So if we forget with them and we start judging them and make them all wrong about their behavior, how are they ever going to wake up and remember who they are? That's our job here to one another, is to keep gently tapping each other on the shoulder saying, no, 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 you're the child of God. You are the light. You make a huge difference. You are essential to God's plan. If you weren't essential, you wouldn't be here. We would not be complete without you. That's the truth. Our purification process has a lot to do with discovering all the ways that we judge. Okay? So when I was much younger, one of my spiritual teachers gave me a homework assignment. And my homework assignment was to, for the next week, just take a look at how judgmental I am. Okay? So I was like, well, this should be easy because I'm not very judgmental. So it was interesting because one day my sister and I were walking through the mall. I think it was a Saturday. We'd gone for lunch or something. And we were walking through the mall, and I was thinking to myself, oh, look at her cute little dress. Oh, look at her pretty smile. Oh, look at the hair on his ears. Oh, look. And then I realized, oh my goodness, I judge everything. I judge good, bad, right, wrong, like nothing crossed my path that I wasn't judging. And it was really interesting to me because what I realized in that moment was I was keeping myself separate from all those people. Instead of recognizing our sameness, I was recognizing our differentness. When we're focused on how we're all the same, then we can really begin to see the love, the peace, the joy, the goodness. But when we're looking at all the things that make us different and judging that as being wrong, like if you're not doing it the way I'm doing it, then you're wrong, then A, there's no space for me to learn from you, right? There's no accident that you showed up on my path. God sent you to me as a teacher. So if you do something and I'm like, wow, that's really different, how did you come up with that? then there's a potential for me to learn and grow. But if you do something and I look at that and I'm like, that was weird, why'd you do that? Then I've put up a block. I've created separation between us, right? And there's no space for me to learn. There's no space for me to grow. There's no space for you to learn or you to grow. So we have to purify the illusion that we're anything other than one. We are one. We are the children of God. We are the peace, the joy, the love, the light. And we're all a unique and beautiful reflection of God. Very unique, like snowflakes. There's not any of us that are exactly the same. Even identical twins, when you're near them, they're unique. So this week, I'm going to invite you to start looking closely at yourself and start noticing, okay, so how am I creating blocks for myself if I'm not experiencing peace and love and joy and enlightenment and actively living my heaven on earth? Then it's because somewhere along the line I have created a block for myself. And instead of creating my heaven, I'm creating my hell. Which even in that, it's freeing. It's freeing to recognize that we are experiencing ourselves as the creator of everything we have in our life right now. If we don't like what we have in our life right now, then we need to purify the judgments and purify the things that has us feel separate so that we can find our way back to the peace, the joy, the love, the light. It's the perfect time of year for you to be creating your vision of what your heaven looks like if you haven't already. And it's time to start looking for the things that have kept you blocked from already having created them. If you have any questions, you need any support, please mention below. I'm here to support you in any way that you need me. Other than that, I hope you have a fabulous week. And let us not forget our principle number 8, principle number 7, which is miracles are everyone's right. It is your right to be experiencing miracles. If you're not experiencing miracles, something's wrong. And the thing that's wrong is, oh, I've been creating something else instead of miracles. I've been creating my own ickiness instead of focusing on the peace and the love and the joy. So, again, miracles are everyone's right. Purification is necessary first. So I wish you a week filled with miracles. If you need my support again, let me know below. Have a great week.